Hello, everyone. Marko here from Ballsack L. Today, I got a special episode for everybody. I'll be speaking with the general managers of the two teams in the finals. We got 123 Cancun general manager Tyler Proctor and Big Money Maletic manager Luka Maletic. They're going to be taking me inside with some details on how they manage the team, how they managed to make it this far, and what their plans are to finalize their victory this week. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and let me know what you think in the comments down below. Again, I'll be back on Sunday with my usual schedule. This one was just a little bit, we got a little inside scoop here. It's a Ballsack L exclusive. So yeah, thank you and have fun. All right, so I'm here with 123 Cancun general manager Tyler Proctor. Just gonna ask you a few questions here. I know you're busy with the matchup going on, so your players are still playing right now, so I'll let you get back to it ASAP. So let's start it off. There's been a lot of controversy with regards to the locker room dissension ever since you, as general manager, projected that the opposing team would win the match. What do you have to say about this? And ultimately, how do you win back the locker room, galvanize the troops, and push for a championship?
I told the guys that it was a bit of a slip up on my end. I wasn't thinking as a general manager, as a coach. I should be a coach first and not a betting man. So I apologize, but told them, you know what, like if we get this dub, like I'll grant you guys like a fun little wish that you can do. Just, whatever, it could be a prank, it could be whatever it is. I'll let them just do it. You could shave my head, something like that, to give them some incentive, get some life back in the locker room. And it seems like they've been doing pretty well today. I saw they were putting up some numbers. So that's how I try to galvanize the troops back.
All right. So your team, though, is down by a fairly large margin at the moment. How do you get around this deficit, both mentally and in terms of accumulating points in order to push forward and win the title?
Well, it's going to be difficult. I was looking at all the players that are playing in the next coming weeks, and it looks like Luka has quite a bit. So there will be some roster changes. I need to pick up some people on waivers. I do have 2 left. So in the next few days, you'll see some different players on my rosters for that final push.
Okay. Your team has had some stretches of inconsistent management, player output, player availability in terms of like Morant and Davis, to name a few. How did you manage to overcome this, take down the number 2 seed, and make it into the finals?
I think the key one was just looking at when I didn't have that many players playing, and just finding the players that, hey, they're hot right now. Last few games have been popping off. I just got to snatch them right away. And so I made sure I used up all my waiver acquisitions, and I got some luck with Ian having some injuries as well, and just pulled through.
All right. So related to that, throughout the season, your team has picked up some important players off the waiver wire, Garland being a major one there. How do you go about identifying talent, and what is it about your locker room that has led them to be this successful this season?
I think a lot of it has to do with just scouting the players. So just watching different teams, watching different players, and seeing who's going to be the best fit on my team. And then when they do join my team, just saying, hey, we only got a few days until like season's over, trying to just hype them up, like, hey man, let's give it all we got. You only got a few games left, just do whatever you can before the season ends, give it all you got. So that's my speech to them.
Awesome. Thank you so much. You got any final thoughts before I let you go?
Not much. Thanks for all the support. Thanks to Marko for all the great production that he's put on, and don't count 123 Cancun yet, because we're not ready to leave yet.
All right, you heard it here first. 123 Cancun, don't count them out. Thank you, everybody. And that is that. All right, Ballsack L viewers, I'm here with General Manager of Team Big Money Maletic, Luka Maletic. Luka, thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule tonight for coming for this interview. I know you got some matches going on right now, so I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Marko. And before we start, I just want to give a thank you to you for everything you've done for this league. We truly could not have accomplished what we've accomplished all season long without you and your contributions. And on behalf of me, and I think my fellow managers as well, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
You're making me blush. I'm liking your team more by the second already. Anyways, let's get to the questions. I know you're busy, so I'll let you off as quick as I can here.
Got it. Shoot.
All right. So you're off to an early lead, as you know, but you're up against an opponent who's been pretty well known for late matchup comebacks. How do you go about keeping this lead and ultimately closing out a championship?
Well, that's a great question, Marco. And I think a big key to this is approaching every game as though you're starting from 0-0. You know, day 1, 0-0, day 2, 0-0. You know, right now we're about 850 points a piece, but in my mind, that's 0-0. So each day I'm starting to start fresh and push hard into the day. And frankly, Tyler is a bit of a scary opponent. I won't lie. But I think I have a couple things going for me. First of all, I have Embiid and Booker. So that's one of the best players in the league and one of the cutest players in the league. And also I'm in Tyler's head. He already thinks he's going to lose, and I think he's right.
All right. It's well documented that the injury of first-round draft pick for your team, Steph Curry, was a major loss for your team this season. How did your team go around that adversity and make it into the finals for this final push here?
Well, you know, frankly, some may have viewed that as a drawback, but I actually view it as a positive. Because I didn't like Steph Curry anyways, because he gets injured and he lets the team he lets the team down. All right. So that freed up the spot for someone who is more consistent and who isn't a pushover and a baby when they stub their toe. So frankly, I say good riddance. And that's probably the loss of Steph Curry has definitely propelled us to the finals. We don't need him and we don't want him.
Fascinating. So going into the season, analysts, media, and general managers alike did not anticipate such a dominant season from your team. Even after numerous wins in succession, it still seemed as though your team did not always get the respect that you feel they deserved. How did you handle this criticism, and what about your team in particular has set you apart in terms of managing to earn win after win?
You know, that's an excellent question. Let me take that piece by piece here. You know, I think every manager experiences their fair share of criticism. And you just got to roll with the punches, you know. Maybe a couple tears were shed, but that's neither here nor there. We won't talk about that. And you know, you won't always agree with what the analysts have to say, but as long as you have faith in yourself and your own team, I think that's all you need to keep pushing forward throughout the days. And actually, I have to remind me the second part of the question. I'm having some, I forgot.
Well, the second part of the question was just mainly asking, what about your team in particular, like the individual personalities, like the locker room in general, set you guys apart, past the criticism, managing to earn win after win, as you did?
You know, I think it's mostly mental. We have a lot of mentally strong players on our team. And they really did not let the criticism get them down. I know Embiid was a big vocal voice in our locker room. We had a couple weeks, you know, that second week, actually, the tie to the Vancouver Hot Moms was, you know, a bit of a kick in the balls there. But we had Embiid rally the team, and you know, he got us going. And then later in the season, with those two losses, one to Tyler, one to Ian, those weren't fun. You know, those came pretty soon after each other. But we relied on our captain, who once was Steph Curry, but good riddance to him. And Embiid's taken the mantle, and he's really kept the team together. So I can't take all the credit here. For sure, we have a lot of strong leaders on our bench.
All right, awesome. And finally, it's been a long season with a lot of ups and downs, as you know. There's a stretch in the midst of the global pandemic where almost half the team would be out as a result of COVID-19 protocols. What have you learned this season that will help you both in this final push and in seasons to come in Ballsack L League's future?
That is a tough one. You know, as far as the stuff goes, that's in the hands of the league. You know, I didn't have much to do with the safety protocols. But what I can tell you is perhaps in the future I would be drafting players who are unvaccinated, as you may know, because that can be a bit of a hamper in the regular season if they don't get those games in. Although, as we're going to the new year here, 2022, it seems that things are opening up. So I'm hoping that in the next season, that won't be a big concern, and we'll just be able to focus more on the actual skills and not whether or not the players are maxed. But other than that, I trust my players to take the proper precautions and keep themselves and their loved ones happy and healthy.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. That's all the questions I had for you today. I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule once again. Any final thoughts?
No. Once again, I appreciate what you do. I lied. I do have final thoughts. And Tyler, I'm going to kick your ass, and I look forward to coming first in the league.
Wow, very exciting there. You heard it here first, folks. Ballsack L Power Rankings News. Marko and Luka out. Thank you very much.
Unintentionally swerving in every lane. The feeling's never the same. You chase what you couldn't gain. I'm so accustomed to flames, I couldn't tell you it's fire. Situation is dire. Here to cause some quiet.